What's good, UBs, 2Bs? I hope y'all doing well. I'm trying to switch my fits up every day. Just not wear the same thing so y'all aren't getting bored of what it is. But hope y'all been doing well, taking care of y'all self. I've been taking care of myself, my heart, my mind, my soul, the best I can. Today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, humility, man. Humility comes from a lot. It takes a lot. But the biggest thing I've learned is in order to even be humble is you got to be crushed. My most humbling experiences was whenever I felt like, damn, like, why did the world just do me like that? Like, I felt like I was down bad. One of the most humbling experiences for me, we'll get into it actually. I don't want to spoil nothing. But yeah, to be humble first, you've got to be crushed. Humble people come from all walks of life. They come from success, they come from failure, demise, you name it. But pride also just comes from the same amount of walks. It's just opposites of each other. They're both destined to happen or bound to happen. However, in order to gain humility, first you must be crushed. I learned this from a book titled Ego is the Enemy, and my life experiences have only sharpened that belief. I'll give my testimony. I currently work at a bank titled Pinnacle Bank, where soon will be Valent. However, prior to this, I'd probably received a W-2 from every company in my city. Yep, in my zip code, I probably worked there. Before banking, I was a cook at McDonald's, but at this particular McDonald's, not a single soul spoke English. So all I could do was literally sit there. I would cook a sausage or whatever, and never would have made it or something like that. I would just sing hymns and Bible songs and gospel to myself in order to just make me feel better because nobody else could talk to me. So it was the most humbling thing ever. I think this was one of the most moments I felt like I was in solitude. I still had a girlfriend at the time, but however, I did feel like I was in solitude. But yeah, nobody spoke English, so the only person I could talk to was myself. Prior to this, I worked at a kids' Foot Locker, and you can only imagine how humbling that was. Just already working at a kids' Foot Locker, making $10 an hour. I didn't have a phone to have service, so I would have to literally walk across the mall to go to Apple so I could connect to their Wi-Fi. Like, it just took a lot of humble stuff. Even when I first started working at the bank, it took humility. I didn't have a phone or service. I barely even had a car. So I remember this, bro. On my first day at my job, the bank job, I didn't have a phone yet. I had a phone, but I didn't have service. And one of my managers, he was telling me, like, in order for me to do it at my job, basically, I had to have service because I didn't have service, so I had to download an app so I could get a new phone number. And you needed Wi-Fi, so whenever a code was sent to your phone number, you could, log in. It was two-step verification. Y'all know what that is. So my manager at the time, he let me use his hotspot. He will forever hold a special place in my heart for that, because that takes humility as well, for you to understand that this kid ain't got it like that, but I could help him out. And for him to do that for me was very humbling, and that changed my perspective on how I see people and how I can help people, because you never know how you could help somebody and how deeply they're going to appreciate it. I will never forget that. Like, I know it might sound like a small gesture, but look at it for what it is. All right, I'm black, he's white, he's my manager, I'm like a pupil, and instead of him being like, you ain't got no phone, are you fired? What do you mean? He took it upon himself to not mention anything or belittle me or tell nobody about it. He just helped me out. Humility. That is a prime example of that. But yes, when I was at Kids Foot Locker, you could only imagine, no phone, barely a car. I was just a troubled individual. I was going through a lot of life. I was reaping a lot of bad decisions as well. I had to face that as well and take care of that. I consistently made all the wrong choices. But one thing I did learn is it takes wrong to appreciate the right. It takes bad to appreciate the good. So opposites do attract. To those who say they don't, yes, they do. You can only sit at rock bottom for so long before you spring back up. I remember when I was at rock bottom, I told myself this is the last time I'll be here. I might be there again, but I won't mentally be there again. My body might, but my mind will never go back to that place. Back to the point. All these things were just character development to allow me to flourish in my future. I learned what it was to be disrespected. I learned what it was to be looked down on. I learned many things, but the biggest thing I learned was restraint. Just to take a step back and to coast. Not everything needs a reaction. I'm going to go on a little tangent. From the book that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, Jackie Robinson was mentioned in it. And in order for him to even become an LA Dodger, they told him, like, you have to practice restraint. People going to call you the N-word. People going to spit on you. They're going to do this. You are the first person to do this, and you're black. So, and this is a predominantly white space. You need restraint to be successful. That's the only way. Restraint is one of the only things that's forgiven. Ego is not. Ego will kill your ass. Restraint will give you a tomorrow. Practice restraint. All right, that's one of the biggest things I've learned. This book, I would recommend reading the book. It's an amazing book. It's difficult to read, but I've learned that the things that are difficult to read, they possess the best substance. The Bible is a prime example. Yes, it's difficult to read, but once you can actually dissect it, your life will be better. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, restraint is the remedy. It will help you out. I mean, just knowing that this battle is not worth fighting and just taking a step back, that's what being a man is. That's what you need. But yes, the last humbling experience I got before my life changed was my friend. They helped me try to get a job, and the day I was supposed to start my onboarding, they emailed me and said, "Sorry, we're no longer hiring for this position." So you can only imagine how that felt. This was McDonald's, Kids Foot Locker, to being rejected again. So that was literally third time was the charm though, because right after that, you feel me? But yeah. They told me that they were no longer taking new hires. So I was like, that's okay. I just swore and made a promise to myself that the next job I got and the next opportunity, I was going to keep it. I would be reliable. And of all else, I was going to make the right decisions. I was going to find what was destined for me. And the job I got after that is the one I work right now at that bank. I've been there for 2 years now. And yesterday made my 1 year anniversary of being a supervisor. So you literally can do whatever you want. Don't let these people's small minds and their bad situations and their horrible todays affect your great tomorrow. You feel me? So just don't even, the choice is yours, gang. You can literally do whatever you want, all right? Being crushed is totally fine, but being told no is also perfectly fine. And having to face adversity is also perfectly fine. It's all about how you go about it. Resilience and perseverance. Either you can let these things crush you and kill you, or you can let them crush you and you fight back and you show the world what you're made of and who you genuinely are. Either you can become someone, or you can do something. The choice is yours. You don't let your peers determine, or even those who don't have your best interest determine your direction. That's up to you. That's not up to anybody but you. So don't let nobody determine your direction but you and that brain inside that head. Don't be so hard on yourself. Forgive yourself for when things don't go right, and commend yourself for possessing the courage to even give it a try. My bad. That was a tongue twister. Yes, it takes courage to even try anything. It takes courage to fail. It takes courage to do anything. So the fact that you possess that, commend yourself for it. Don't allow that emotion or that character trait to go unthanked. You feel me? Don't do that. It's a rare thing, and to possess it in the world that we live in today, you're a great individual. So if you have that, pat yourself on the back and continue to keep fighting, because life is going to continue to keep fighting your ass. And the one thing that I've learned to live by, or that I also learned from that book, it was a saying, and it goes, Duris dura freguntur. And it means hard things are broken by hard things. Hard times can be broken. You just got some hard decisions to make. That's it. And I'll end with this. If you put what you love to rest because you can't take time away from it, it's selfish and foolish. If your reputation can't take a few blows, it was never worth anything in the first place. So I thank y'all for tapping in. This was low-key a very, very good one, so I'm glad I got to share it with y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all's day, and I hope y'all enjoyed our TED Talk.